I never thought that pressing a panic button would unleash chaos in the entire neighborhood, or lead to criminal charges against our HOA president. That is exactly what occurred, however, the day Karen Whitfield decided she had a right to enter my residence with an imputed master key. I was miles away, conducting a video conference with international clients, while Leo, my 12-year-old son, was standing in the doorway, silently watching it all go down. What Karen didn't realize was that each move she made was being recorded, and those recordings would ultimately take her down. My name is Marcus Chen. I'm a single dad and software designer who felt that moving into Willowbrook Estates would give my son and me peace, security, and a new beginning. It was only 3 months ago that Leo and I abandoned our small apartment and moved here to this gated community, lined with perfect houses, spotless lawns, and what I naively imagined was a normal HOA. What we actually found was Karen Whitfield. A woman who got her volunteer job mixed up with unbridled power. Karen showed up only a few hours after our moving truck left. She arrived with clipboard and disapproving frown at our still-packed boxes, making thinly veiled threats about upholding standards. I wrote it off to suburban politics at first, but everything changed the day she saw Leo walking home alone from the bus stop. While I carried groceries in, Karen rushed up the driveway. In her familiar tone of feigned concern, she said, "Single fathers have issues with supervision. Maybe after-school care would be better for him." I politely told her that Leo was 12, advanced for his age, and I worked from home, able to monitor him through our smart home system. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Then she turned and left. But I knew that wasn't the end. Days passed, and she knocked again, this time insisting that the HOA had regulations against leaving children under 16 at home alone. I requested the bylaw. She replied that it was in review. It never arrived. What did show up, though, was Karen's silver SUV, every weekday around 3:45. She'd slowly drive by sometimes. Other times, she'd park on the other side of the road. Even Leo caught on. He asked me one day if she was attempting to abduct him. We started monitoring it all. Timestamps, photos, doorbell cam footage, and still nothing prepared us for that October Tuesday. I was in the middle of a high-level virtual meeting with clients in Japan when the alerts flashed my phone. Front door opening, failed key entry, and then Karen's authoritative voice blasting through our security speaker. "Leo, open this door now!" I moved swiftly from confused to frantic. I followed her on the security app, jamming a key into our front door and shouting that she was performing a welfare check as HOA president. Leo remained steady. He activated the emergency lockdown, a feature I'd installed when I moved in. All doors locked, all cameras online. Then he called me. "Dad, that Karen lady's trying to get in. She says she has a key, but it won't go in." "You did the right thing," I said to him, my heart racing. "Stay there. I'll handle it." I told Karen over the speaker that she was on private property and that she needed to vacate. That's when she made perhaps her worst decision. She called 911. She told the operator that there was an abandoned child in danger inside the house. When I called the police myself to clarify, they told me that officers were already on the way. I hung up and ran home. That 15-minute drive felt like hours. 2 police cars sat by the time I got there. Martinez and Thompson stood on the porch, arms crossed, while Karen paced maniacally, cursing about neglect. Leo calmly told the officers through the Ring camera, "I'm fine, I'm doing my homework. I don't open the door for strangers." When I stepped out of the car, Karen pointed, yelling, "That's the father! He left his kid by himself!" Officer Martinez was calm. "Sir, can we hear your side?" "Sure," I said, unlocking the door with my actual key. Karen's substitute one hung in her hand, useless. Leo was sitting at the kitchen table, textbook, notebook, pencil all laid out. He even waved. The officers confirmed he had food, water, access to communications. So I showed them the video. They watched Karen try to open the door, fail, and then call 911. Her expression was not one of concern. She was boiling with anger. When Officer Thompson questioned her as to how she came to get the key, her story unraveled. "It's from a maintenance inspection months ago," she growled. "You copied a homeowner's key without authorization?" he asked. It's HOA policy." "Produce the policy," ordered Officer Martinez. She couldn't. I handed the file I'd been constructing, Karen's surveillance pattern, photos of her fabricated accusations, even Mrs. Rodriguez's street testimony in front of us, who recorded Karen standing outside our home for 20 minutes. The officers addressed Karen. Phrases such as unlawful entry, trespass, and false report started flying. Her complexion went white. Neighbors had come out, pretending to water lawns or retrieve mail, cell phones in hand. I knew that this would go viral on Facebook fast. When asked again for the bylaw granting her home access, Karen mumbled something about having it at home. Officer Thompson wasn't buying it. "No HOA agreement overrides state property law," he said. "Ma'am, you're being cited for unlawful attempted entry and filing a false emergency report." Karen gasped. "You can't do that. I'm the president." "Irrelevant," said Officer Martinez, issuing the citation. I informed them that I'd be pressing charges. When I mentioned my lawyer, Karen appeared to pass out. The next HOA meeting was packed. I brought Jacob Morrison, my attorney and HOA abuse expert. He presented everything: security footage, screen captures, eyewitness accounts, while Karen stood stiff and mute. Jacob detailed not only the illegal copying of keys, but the emotional trauma to Leo and the misuse of emergency services. He requested a key audit. Tom Bradley, the HOA treasurer, admitted Karen had no board approval. Sarah Kim, the secretary, produced meeting minutes showing Karen's home access proposal had been denied. The board voted. No confidence. Unanimous. Even her allies turned. Karen stood abruptly. "You'll regret this. Without me, this place falls apart." She stormed out. No one followed. But it didn't end there. Karen was fined $5,000 for making the false report. The unauthorized duplicate of the key landed her on misdemeanor charges. Her real estate license suspended. We filed a civil lawsuit and won $15,000 in damages. A court order now bars her from ever serving HOA office again and from going within 100 feet of our home. She showed up at sentencing, standing in court. No power, no authority, no mask left. The judge read every charge. When the bailiff summarized her probation, Karen wept. The woman who tried to rule our neighborhood by intimidation and pretender power? Now just another warning story. And it started. Because my 12-year-old son had just the right moment to press the panic button. If you believe no one, not even an HOA president, should have a master key to your home, smash that like button. And if you are searching for more stories where powerful privilege gets what it deserves, subscribe. You don't want to miss what comes next.